Hello and welcome back! Now, let's try to make the game a lot more interesting, shall we? It's very boring and super lame just moving a character around in a massive void of emptiness, right? Hashtag story of my life, Anyway, let's upgrade our game so that there's obstacles and our character knows how to avoid walking into those obstacles, alright? So, on the spreadsheet, let's restart the game. Let's draw a big square border around our character. We'll do that by setting the cell background color to black, like this. Okay, now let's start by changing the code for the move up button. Now here's a recap. Here's how our move up button looks like right now. What do we have to modify here? Haha, now you know the drill, right? We need to use decomposition to figure out what needs to be done before we convert that into an algorithm. So let's say I want to move up and I don't know whether there's an obstacle, right? So I need to check if there's an obstacle in front of me. If there's no obstacle, good, I can just move forward. But if there's an obstacle, then I can't move forward. The logic is pretty simple here, and we can implement that in the form of a conditional. Let's plan this out using pseudocode first, shall we? If there's no obstacle, then move. Else, that means if there's an obstacle, don't move. Pretty simple, right? Let's convert this to a VBA code. How do I know whether there's an obstacle in front of me? Here's a hint. I can use offset XY to check. Second hint, a black color cell represents an obstacle, whereas a white color cell represents a clear path. So, have you thought of how to write the conditional? Perhaps we can check the color of the next cell, and we can use the offset command and the color command. I'm going to go through the mental process very slowly in case some of you are having difficulties, alright? So bear with me here. Let's do a semi-VBA, semi-pseudocode of what the conditional might look like. We want to see whether there's no obstacle, right? If no obstacle, then move, right? So if selection.offset -10.interior.color is VB white, then move. Else, that means it's not white, don't move. Okay. So how can we put that into a VBA code? We can do something like this, yeah?
Teach me senpai, I want to learn so that I can ponder CS kids. Teach me senpai, I want to learn VBA. Wanna code, otherwise cannot get A+. Wanna code, I don't want my cap to drop. I don't care that I have no life. I'm a tall mugger. The bell curve bothers me anyway.
Let's try this out now. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. Let's restart the game. Let's keep clicking the up button. What happens? Our character is moving. We've met an obstacle. And Excel is now complaining that there's an obstacle in the way. Remember, we have that line of code in the message box? Alright, now I've shown you how to implement a simple conditional using VBA in Excel. I now invite you to implement the conditional to check for obstacles for the other three directional buttons, down, left and right. Once again, click pause to finish up the last three directional buttons, and when you're done, click play and we'll proceed to the last stage where we'll make this game a lot less boring and a little more interesting, alright? Okay, now let's try to make this game better by transforming it into a maze solving game, yeah? So let's restart the game on our spreadsheet. Yeah, we have the 4 walls as our border of the game. Now let's add more walls, more obstacles, yeah? Be sure there's a clear and direct path from where your character starts to an endpoint, a destination, yeah? You can just do what I'm doing, yeah? So as you can see, the code that we have done so far allows our character to move around the maze without going through walls like a ghost. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, you thought that you were just writing code to avoid walking past the borders, but the same code that we have written can be used to navigate around the maze and not walk through any of the obstacles. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Okay, so how can we make the game a lot more interesting now? Well, since we're making it into a maze solving game, we can set an end destination to win the game. So let's color our destination cell green on the spreadsheet, shall we? Since green is used to denote the endpoint, we can add to our existing set of conditionals to check for the color green. So if green, you win. And we can just do this without having to adjust our code too much. We can include an else-if statement in the middle, like this. If white, then move. Else, if green, then win game. Else, don't move. So, let's start by modifying the code for the move up button, right? Here's the parts that we have changed. As you can see, all we've done is that we just added that else-if part to check for green. So, As you can see, it wasn't too hard to add code to win the game. All we needed to do was to make the current cell white and announce that you've won the game, right? Now I invite you to do the same, the other 3 directional buttons. Once you're done, you have a working game like this. So give it a try, yeah? Let's complete the last 3 buttons, and here's my challenge to you, alright? Come up with the hardest possible maze for me and for your friends, your classmates to try. Of course, make sure that your maze can lead to an end destination. And when you're done, feel free to share your maze on the forum and let your fellow classmates try, yeah? So, alright, I hope you had fun. Goodbye for now.